Hi guys. So so today I'm telling you about how a customer paid me in kind. Not that kind of kind, but a good kind of kind still, right? Now this bothers on. I'm sure if you've been working for some time now, you must have encountered a customer that has somehow gone without paying you, and like they got away with it. Okay? Hence, let me give you my story. I remember the very first people who did not pay me. Okay, there were some two ladies. I carried them from where, and then by the time I dropped them off, they told me that their iPhone is dead, so they need to go and plug it and charge it for like a few moments, then send my money. Now I couldn't wait. Obviously, I was too trusting at the time. I also couldn't wait. I was just like, yeah, I already got the next order, so I'm going to go fulfill that order. I called them back again after like an hour or two. Nothing. They say, yes, she'll send it because there were two ladies, so I was communicating with one and she was telling me the other was going to send it. Called again the next day. She's at work, she'll send it. Called again before you know they stopped picking the calls. I started to send text messages, different phones, nothing, right? That was it. They just went blank. I had to forget about it and just move on. It was very painful because it was actually a large sum of money. Okay. The other incident was also, especially around the era when uh, there was that cashless policy. You know, there wasn't a lot of cash and everybody had to do transfer. So this was exactly around the time when those things happened. The next one was a man, like a man. He promised me that he had sent the money and all that, and then it was just network delaying it. I waited for a day, nothing. Waited for 2 days, nothing. Message him, he was like, he has sent it, that he's going to send me the receipt. I should send my WhatsApp number. I sent my WhatsApp number, didn't hear from the dude. Gone. Another guy, uh, this one he did it on purpose. I just didn't pick up on it. I guess I had not learned my lesson at the time. And unfortunately, around that time when there was this transfer issues and just before the election, I think this was 2023, just before the election, right? So you could not really hound customers if the money does not reflect. It just kind of seemed like it's not their fault, it's not your fault. It was around the time when the microfinance banks were becoming more popular. So, but before people really got to know about them, there was that hiccup. So this other person literally orchestrated it very well, wherein they came and they booked. I think it was from Wuse Market to Guarimpa somewhere. After dropping them, I don't think he was trying to do anything. He was just pressing his phone and claiming that network was having some kind of hiccup. And I just couldn't focus on him, right? I was in Guarimpa. I mean, Guarimpa is the hub of request. I was already getting the next request, and I was like, okay, see, please just try and do me a solid, yeah? Just make sure you send it. He never did. I called him, and from his voice, I don't want to call him a G-boy, but quite frankly, I think he's a G-boy. From his voice and his demeanor, I could tell that he didn't even try to send it. He just got away with that trip, and he knew exactly what he was doing. By the way, I dropped him at like a guest house, so that's not his place, right? The other person, this was on Uber, was a lady. I picked her up from somewhere, took her to several places, and then by the end of the day, the money was coming around 7,000, which at that time was such a big amount of money, if you know what I mean, around 2023. 7,000 is what you take, let's say, if you're going to somewhere like the airport, okay? It was a big amount of money. Like, that's how much driving we did. And she said her boyfriend, or the dude that was with her at the time when I picked her up, was the person who was going to make the payment. There I was asking, how far? he has not paid you. Oh my God, I'm going to call him now. The next time again, how far? Are you serious? He's still not paid you. Let me call him. How far again? I still didn't see anything. 2 days, 3 days, get into a week. I started to text, I started to message because at some point they stopped to pick your call, right? And then they stopped to accept your, what is it called, your message or your text. That was how that money also went. These were all very, very painful moments because these were not little money, you know, the kind of things that you just overlook and, you know, get on with your day. These are, most of them were people that I took from this to this, and all of it online, by the way. It's not, okay, maybe not all. I don't know again, but it was just a painful experience. Okay? Fast forward to this year. This was maybe a month or maybe a month and a half ago. I picked up this lady from Guarimpa, and then it was an in-drive. And then we're going somewhere. When we got to the place, I looked at my phone and realized that the person who booked wasn't the lady, had already cancelled the ride, right? I didn't start the ride on time. Like, I just didn't focus on my phone, basically. So I realized that, did I cancel the ride? Obviously, I didn't cancel. I don't remember canceling the ride. So it was clearly the person. Later, I saw that the passenger canceled the ride, like on the order history. On getting there, she started to call the person who booked the ride, and the person was no longer picking. In fact, the number was not going through. Me, myself, was calling the person because, you know, I have the person's number on the app. The person was not picking. This was around 12 a.m. in the morning or in the middle of the night. I was starting to get impatient because it's 12. What are we doing? You know, let's just, I think her fare came around 5,000 something. Let's just find a way to, you know, sort this out, right? She would call the friend to the person who was supposed to pay, and the person is like, yeah, I'm going to talk to him, I'm going to talk to him. After that, his own number too wasn't going through. I just couldn't let it go, right? I just couldn't let it go because I didn't want to be taken for a fool one more time. The moment I just say, okay, it's fine, you can send it tomorrow morning, you are never going to see that money again. Maybe, maybe not. Quite frankly, I've had issues, or rather, instances where somebody actually did keep to their word and they actually sent the money the next day. Honestly, I've had situations like that. So, but for some reason, I just wasn't trusting of this particular situation. I insisted. So we went back and forth, and we were there for some good 30, maybe 40 minutes. I tell you the truth. She kept calling family members. I said, honey, there is no way I'm going to leave here without my money. There is no way. Somehow, we are going to settle up. Okay? And then she's like, you know, see, I promise, I swear I will send. Madam, doesn't matter. I don't want to have to call you tomorrow. Like, after now, I just want us to just, you know, just be. I don't want to have to call you and say my money, no. We're done. So just pay me. I already offered the service, right? So just pay me. Just find a way. She was saying things like, oh, the guy that's supposed to pay didn't pay because, you know, she refused to sleep with him. Okay, story for the gods, right? Just pay me. That's all I want. She was calling family members. They were sleepy, but they woke up and say, ask this person, ask that person, do this, do that. End of the day, she had to drop her Samsung phone with me. She had 2 phones, so she had to drop one of it with me. It was a Samsung phone, and I'm like, yeah, worst case scenario. It wasn't like the, you know, the best kind of Samsung, but you know, Samsung is still Samsung. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to flip this and get some cash. Good money, by the way, because it's Samsung, right? So I took the Samsung, and then I left there around 1 something, almost to 2, actually, because that was how long our deliberation took. Okay. Then the next morning, she was even the one that woke me up. She called me, and then she had sent the money, and she was trying to, you know, arrange a meeting of some sort where she can get her phone. So yeah, we settled up fine. We settled up fine in the end. But the point is, I got my money, right? I became more resolute. It's like my eyes became more enlightened. So nobody's going to take me for a ride again. Fast forward like a week and a half later or 2 weeks later, I picked up this person. It was from like Jahi to Guarimpa, Finestone Estate to be precise, if you know Guarimpa. As soon as I was just reaching the gate, like inside the estate, the particular building where she was supposed to drop, she brought out her phone. Oh yeah, call me a contract number, and then I was calling, and then she was typing, and then I did a U-turn, just to face the out road. So she's like, please, do you have an iPhone charger? My phone just went off. I said, no, I don't have iPhone charger. It's not iPhone I'm using. I don't have iPhone charger. She's like, oh, please, my phone just went off. I actually forgot to charge it where I'm coming from, If I have a pen, maybe I can write down the account number, and then she's going to send the money as soon as she gets in and charge her phone, because it seems like there was no light at the time. I was like, nah. You'll give me my money now. And then she's like, no, it's not my fault. Like, my phone just went, I was literally about to send you money, and my phone just went off. And then she plugged the phone to a power bank that she had, and she was showing me, like, look at it, right? The phone is actually charging, but the problem is the cord that she's using for the phone was, not the original cord. So it's going to take a while before the phone even comes on, because she has the original charger, but the original charger has type C to type C, end to end. Okay? And I'm like, very valid explanation, but we're going to settle up. I'd offer the service, we are going to settle up. I'm not leaving here without my money. By the way, it wasn't even that much. It was just 3,000 something. We are going to settle up. I kept insisting that whatever happens, honey, you are home, okay? If you have to go in there, maybe get cash, speak to a friend, speak to a neighbor, speak to a family member, whatever you have to do, I am going to get my money today. This was around 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Sometimes I work that late. It shouldn't be an example for anybody, please. So we went back and forth. Now, she started to piss me off when she was acting as though it's not her fault. I'm like, I don't really care if it's your fault or not. My own is, I actually drove you from point A to point B, so I'm worthy of my wages. I'm worthy of the money that I'm supposed to get. So you don't come to me with excuses and saying, why won't I be considerate? No. You are going to pay me. Like, my voice wasn't even necessarily going up. It was just a simple, resolute instruction. Honey, you are going to pay me. She brought her phone. She's like, look, this is an iPhone 16. I didn't ask. This was pissing me off. I didn't even ask what phone you're using or something. That's not the point. I'm talking about my money. And she's like, look, this is an iPhone 15. It has a real $100 behind it. I'm like, maybe you should exchange it and give me the money. Why are you telling me what brand of iPhone you're using? That was not my question. That was not my concern. I was just focused on getting the money. I just want to get paid. We sat there, quiet for some time. I'm like, I have to go, right? I can't, you're already home, I'm not home. I still have to drive to get to my own place. So I can't just sit around here just waiting for you. It's already 2 a.m. for God's sake. It's not ideal for me to be here by this time, right? So I'm like, see, you have to pay me somehow. Do you have any property? Something that you could, relinquish? She's like, let me check. I don't know why girls do that. They keep fiddling with their nose like it's not cool. Of course it's hot. What are you doing that for? Right? Hmm. I don't know if it's to incite pity or to claim damsel in distress. I wasn't just having it like you are going to pay me as the bottom line. She started to check. She's like, no, most of the things I have here, they're just worth more than the money. Okay, pay me somehow, right? So the power bank that she was holding, that she was using to charge the phone, she was not like, unless maybe I can give you the power bank. I'm going to tell you, honest to God, when I heard that, my eyes lit up. Why? My power bank has been acting up. Where's that damn thing, sir? I inside. The thing has been acting up lately, right? And with the heat season, and like whenever there's no light, I have this small fan that uses USB. Okay, you can charge it, you can run it with the USB. So I used to use it with my power bank from time to time. So the power bank has been acting up. And when she said she was going to give me a power bank, she said it with a low tone, like expecting me to reject it. Okay, because I was very, very resolute about the money. By the way, the money was 3.7. 3 something, by the way. 3.7, 3.5, I don't know. So I was, but I had to, I had to still compose myself and act like, yeah, maybe I don't want the thing yet, right? I'm like, it's not power bank I'm looking for. I was afraid that I should not overdo it before I lose out on everything, right? So it's not power bank I'm looking for. I just bought my money, right? And after like maybe 10 seconds, I was like, let me see the power bank. I was just acting like I didn't want it, but God knows I fucking need that fucking power bank, right? Then she gave it to me. I was looking at it, and then I tossed it to the passenger seat because she was sitting in the back. I tossed it to the passenger seat, like, is he actually working? And then she plugged it into her iPhone as well. She checked it, and then it's like it's working. Because all the while we're there, I was hoping that okay, since you plugged it to the iPhone, even though it's a weird low grade kind of cable you're using, at least some 1-2% should have come into the phone, enough for you to turn on the phone and just do the transfer so I can go. But the thing didn't come on. She just kept insisting that no, this is an iPhone. The iPhone comes on as soon as it's charged. It's an iPhone. Okay. Keep speaking English. You're getting my mind today. End of the day, she gave me the power bank. And in my head, I was feeling like, okay, we're going to meet up somehow, after you've paid me so I can return your power bank to you. But she didn't seem quite interested. So that made me feel like this girl literally had no money to pay. She literally had no money to pay. She was just going to take my account number and never call me or never return my texts or my calls. Just ignore me until everything just fizzle away. Because just like the former person, I took the phone, and then after she paid me, she actually tried to come for the phone, although the phone is kind of bigger than the power bank. So, but the power bank we're talking, look at the power bank here. It's a 30,000 mAh power bank. This stuff is a blessing, right? It lasts for as long as, well, it lasts more than my own stupid one that was already. So this is clearly, if you know how much power bank goes for, I think at least 30,000 right now. Okay, so that's how I got power bank. And in a time like this, it was a blessing, man. I was like, come on, for 3,500, I'm getting the power bank. It's kind of old, but it works. It works. So yeah, that's how I got paid in kind. So you understand the kind I'm talking about now, not the other weird type of kind. Okay, I'm hoping that, maybe we could start like a task force. Do you get? Maybe form like a Telegram group and add as many of us as possible so that for anybody who gets defrauded or who doesn't get their money or who doesn't get paid, right? we could all bombard this customer with calls and texts until the person pays. I think it's a good idea. I'd like to hear your thoughts, okay? If we're all on board, say something or give it a thumbs up or something, and we can just create a Telegram group and get started from there. Hopefully we'll be able to build to a very large community of people, because if this one person gets, imagine them getting 20 calls in a day, imagine them getting like 100 calls in a week, they will definitely pay you, right? They will definitely pay you. So that's what I think. That's the only fix, or the only resolve, a solution that I can think of right now. So nobody deserves to get defrauded, especially if you've offered that service. So if anybody, any customer wants to be smart, we'll show them that we're smarter. Okay? So later.